He's about to retire, so to celebrate, I'm taking our parents on a trip to France starting today. I'll be using your platinum card for this adventure. We're going to have a great time enjoying ourselves with your credit card. What a fantastic getaway. What are you saying? Just what I said. No, I don't quite grasp what you mean. Could you clarify? We need to hurry. I get it, we'll be leaving soon. Sorry, but I have to run now. I'll catch up on the details later. I might reach out again. Just one thing, the credit card won't work. Huh? My husband, Parker, took my credit card to treat our parents to a trip. I've dealt with a lot from Parker, but this seems like the perfect opportunity. I'm determined to make sure Parker learns a lesson, and by the time he returns from the trip, he'll have some significant regrets. I'm Lee, a 32-year-old employee at a large corporation. After graduating from a prestigious university, I secured an excellent position and have been thriving. Even though I'm only 32, my salary is enough to support Parker, who is currently unemployed, and even a child if we decided to have one. But that's just a consideration. We've been married for 2 years and are contemplating starting a family, although we don't have kids yet. Despite having a solid job and a good income, I'm not satisfied with my life. The idea of having a child is just that, an idea. The fact that Parker isn't working is a reality I can't ignore. I'm not even hungry for dinner since I had some snacks earlier. That's fine, but what about your job search? I didn't go to an interview today, I just stayed home browsing job sites. Parker left his job a year ago and has been searching for work since. He's taken on some part-time roles, but they don't last long. He usually starts a job, quits soon after, takes a break, and then looks for another part-time gig. You're looking at part-time jobs again, right? I'm considering both full-time and part-time options. Why not focus solely on finding a full-time position instead of part-time ones? I know, but timing is crucial. I wish Parker would secure a steady job, but there's a reason he hasn't. He can't be pushed too hard. He quit his last job due to a clash over policies with his boss, who was notoriously difficult. Parker took a stand as the office representative with the support of his coworkers, but when tensions rose, his colleagues sided with the boss. Consequently, Parker lost his boss's approval, felt betrayed by his colleagues, and ultimately decided to leave the company. Parker, dinner is ready, could you bring it here? After he resigned, Parker became withdrawn, spending most of his time in his room. About 2 weeks later, he started coming out to help with household chores. I'll handle the dishes. Really? Thank you, it's all yours, then. Yeah, I've got plenty of time, Parker joked, but his smile didn't feel genuine. After another 2 weeks, he began looking for a new job. I have an interview today. Is it your top choice? Yeah, I'm going to ace this one and make a fresh start. I'm cheering for you, do your best. A month after leaving his job, Parker began to search for work more seriously, but even after another month, he remained unsuccessful. Why do they keep turning me down? It's all because of my previous job. Don't lose hope, you'll find something great. Of course, I'm frustrated, I didn't do anything wrong. While Parker may not be entirely innocent, the circumstances at his last job weren't fully his fault either. Nevertheless, quitting due to interpersonal conflicts isn't appealing to potential employers. It feels like nothing I do is right anymore. That's not the case, you have an interview tomorrow, let's update your resume. It's pointless, I'm not going to that interview. Repeated rejections wore Parker down, and he eventually became defiant. One day, I came home to find torn resumes littered across the living room floor. Knowing his interview had not gone well, I chose my words carefully and said, "Can you throw that trash in the bin? I'm done." Done with what? Job searching. We can get by on Layla's income, can't we? I'm not saying I want to work. It was true, we could survive on my salary alone. Some people choose not to work and thrive as full-time homemakers, but that wasn't Parker's situation. He seemed to be avoiding reality. Understanding his reluctance following his tough experience at his last job and the unsuccessful job hunt, I resolved to be patient with him for a while. Parker, you still haven't secured a job, what's your plan? I've worked hard before, this is just a long break. I'm not just idling, I'm preparing for what's ahead. That's good to hear. Living near my in-laws, Parker's parents, Maila and Nicholas, began visiting us more frequently after he quit his job. They were likely worried about him. When they heard Parker was preparing for his next opportunity, they appeared relieved, but that was far from the truth. We're running low on beer. Can you pick some up on your way home? Running low again? You drink too much, maybe try to cut back a bit. Fine, I won't ask again, I'll handle it myself. Parker wasn't studying or job hunting. Instead, he spent his days watching TV and drinking beer. He probably didn't want others to know he was unemployed. To spare Parker's feelings, I decided not to share the truth with my in-laws, even though he hadn't searched for a job in over 3 months. Eventually, I felt it was time to address the issue. Parker, maybe it's time to start looking for a job again. You seem more settled now. What? It's only been 6 months since my last job. You expect me to work again after what happened? I just think the break has gone on long enough. Stop nagging, you can't understand what I'm feeling when your job is going so well. I have my own battles, you know. Everyone faces work-related challenges and relationship issues. We can work through this together. I see, I'll start searching for a job now. Alright. Parker left during our discussion. My words seemed to have hurt him, yet his willingness to job hunt felt like a positive step. I intended to apologize once he felt better. I got hired because you motivated me. That's wonderful. Where are you working? At a local grocery store. You'll need to learn quickly and put in effort, right? It's just part-time, no need to overexert myself. Regardless of whether it's part-time, any job holds value. Are you okay with that? I wanted to say more to Parker, but I decided to wait and see how even this minor step could help him bounce back. I opted to be patient and observe. I'm back. Parker, you're home. How's your job at the grocery store? I quit that part-time job. Why? It hasn't been long. A college student there was acting bossy, constantly instructing me to store the vegetable boxes at the bottom. It felt like harassment. That student was probably just trying to show Parker the ropes. In any job, even a college student might have more experience. Parker kept searching for work but never stayed in one position for long. So, Parker still can't hold down a job, and it's been a year already. So what are you doing now? I'm working part-time at a pub. I've never been in the food and beverage industry, but it seems intriguing. Maybe I've finally found my niche. Really? That's fantastic. But isn't the pay from a part-time restaurant job quite low? That's okay. I'm currently an apprentice, aiming to become self-sufficient. So, you plan to have your own place someday? Exactly. The pay may be low now, but I'm working diligently toward my goal. Here, take this, treat yourself to something nice for once. Parker continues to put on a brave face in front of his parents, but it's all a facade. He quit the pub job 3 days after this discussion, deceiving everyone while still taking an allowance from his parents. This time, I couldn't help but feel let down by my husband, so I resolved to be more assertive than before. Hey, Parker, can you pause it for a moment? I had a significant part in the movie. I grabbed the remote from the table, paused the movie, and initiated a conversation. It's annoying when you pause it at the best part. What's on your mind? Parker, you're 35 now, right? That's a prime working age. Don't you think about what's next? Spending all day at home drinking and just watching TV? The future? Plenty of 35-year-olds aren't working. Many people enjoy life without having a job. True, work isn't everything, but those people have something else they dedicate themselves to. Do you have anything like that? Yeah, I know you're frustrated about my unemployment. I'll start looking for another part-time position. Parker seems fixed on only working part-time. Given his reasons for leaving his previous job and his struggles in job hunting, I've been careful not to upset him. But it's time for Parker to get back on track. I need to be more assertive. One day at work, I got a text from Parker. Dad's retiring, so we're going to France to celebrate starting today. I'm borrowing your platinum card. We're going to enjoy ourselves using your credit card. I panicked and called him right away. What do you mean by a trip? Just what I said. I don't understand. Please explain. There are several issues here. Celebrating Nicholas's retirement is fine, but Parker should have consulted me before using my money and borrowing my credit card. It feels more like taking without asking. And why am I funding a trip to France that I won't even attend? Parker probably told his parents he was paying for it from his savings. Just thinking about it angers me, but one thing he said sticks out. You mentioned borrowing a credit card. Are you referring to the one from our home? Yeah, why? I do have a platinum card. Some think a high income is required for it, but that's not accurate. Credit history, stable income, and other factors matter. And you can get one in your 30s. It comes with a hefty annual fee, but I use it for the perks and points. However, That credit card is in my possession, so you took the credit card from home? Yeah, so I'm relying on you to cover the expenses. Parker, eager about his trip to France, spoke to me with a challenging tone. I've been patient with Parker for a long time, but now feels like the right moment to act. He thinks he's clever for taking my credit card and pretending to be cheerful about it, but he's about to learn a different lesson. What are you waiting for? We need to get going. Understood. Sorry, I have to leave now. I'll hear the details when I get back. Just one more thing, that credit card you took won't work. What? That's not possible. It's in Ila's name, and it expires this month. It's close, but it shouldn't be an issue. You're lying, right, Ila? You're lying to prevent me from using the card, aren't you? That's a blatant lie. Yes, it does expire this month. That's why I've already received a new credit card. What does that imply? See, I have 2 credit cards available now. Sometimes, when a new card is activated, the old one stops functioning. I've already started using the new card, so the one you took won't work. What? Are you joking? You think I'm lying? If you don't believe me, I can share the link to the credit card website with you, or you could just try using the card. It would be amusing to see you attempt to pay with a card that won't function. Trust me, this credit card is genuinely useless. Hey, hurry up. I can hear his parents calling him from afar, but Parker, realizing the card won't work, seems too flustered to respond. What do? I told them I'd cover everything except the round-trip tickets. Oh, so they paid for the flight? Yeah, Dad felt bad about covering all the travel expenses. What am I supposed to do? I'm about to get a cab, and I don't even have cash for that. That's not my issue. You said you'd handle everything except the flight. It was wrong of you to attempt to use my credit card. You should pay with your own funds. How can I? I'm broke right now. Parker, you haven't been serious about finding work. It's your fault for trying to impress your parents by taking them on a trip without any money. I'm at work now, so I have to end the call. I just wanted to let you know about the credit card. I hung up and returned to my duties. Parker, unable to even afford the cab, would have to be honest with his parents. That evening, after work, I got a call from Maila. I heard from Parker. He attempted to use your credit card and lied about being employed. I'm really sorry for the trouble. No need to apologize, Maila. I'm the one who should apologize for the issues with the credit card. Are you managing financially? We'll take care of the trip's expenses once we return. I'll ensure Parker apologizes and starts job hunting immediately. I'm sorry, but I'm thinking about divorcing Parker. Divorce? Because of this? It's part of the reason, but Parker has been taking my money for quite some time. What do you mean? I stopped giving him money to curb his drinking habits. He found a part-time job and started buying his own drinks, but his part-time salary couldn't cover his daily drinking. Parker has been taking cash from my wallet to buy alcohol. He would regularly take amounts ranging from $4 to $40 over the course of a year. It added up to a significant total. I hadn't been firm with him, hoping he would change, but when he took my credit card for this trip, it felt like it was no longer just about $42. This pattern of behavior convinced me he had no intention of changing. I understand. Should I tell Parker about the divorce? Could you just inform him that I want a divorce? We can discuss the details when he gets home. An hour later, the next morning after my conversation with Maila, Parker called. He must have learned about the divorce from her, even though I had asked her to wait until he returned to talk about it. Feeling drained, I opted not to pick up. When I came home from work that evening, I found Parker already there. He had cut his trip short. I'll start taking things seriously now. Please don't leave me, he begged. As soon as I stepped into the living room and saw Parker, he immediately apologized. His remorse seemed sincere, but it came too late. He had an entire year to change, and now he was asking for another chance. Despite my repeated warnings, he had squandered every opportunity. I'm not giving Parker another chance because he gave up on me. My decision is final. Can you leave? Please don't say that. If you won't leave, should I move out? Only if you can afford to pay rent here. Parker fell silent. He didn't even have money for next month's rent, let alone any income. My words and the reality of the impending divorce seemed to hit him hard. With nothing to take, he appeared to leave the house, likely heading to his parents' place. I briefly considered asking if he had money for transportation, but Parker isn't a child. He should manage his own issues. Sadly, I watched him walk away. After leaving our home, Parker went to his parents' house. Later, I got a call from Maila. They let Parker stay for one night but asked him to leave the next day. They were worried he might become overly dependent on them if he stayed longer. It must have been difficult for them as parents to make that decision, but they felt it was essential for Parker's growth. Excluded by his parents, Parker returned to our home, pleading with me, "Please help me, I have nowhere to go and no money." That's the consequence of your choices. You need to manage this on your own. Everyone goes through hard times, and while it's okay to seek help sometimes, you've spent the last year neglecting your responsibilities and living how you want. I didn't allow Parker inside and turned him away at the doorstep. The divorce eventually went through. Parker was hesitant, but with his parents' backing, it happened quicker than I expected. I'm unsure what happened to him afterward, but he's likely still hopping from one job to another, making excuses. I thought I would feel lonely without Parker, but that wasn't the case. His attitude had been exhausting, and I was always cautious not to irritate him. Now that I don't have to cater to him, I've been living more comfortably. Unbeknownst to me, our life together had been a burden. I'm relieved I didn't allow myself to be dragged down by him. Now, I can live without the need to please anyone else. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay amazed.